What if the reason your body refuses to heal has nothing to do with your diet, your genetics, or even the treatments you've tried? What if Carl Jung discovered something so profound about the human psyche that it completely dismantles everything modern medicine has taught us about healing? Stay with me here, because what I'm about to reveal will fundamentally change how you understand your own body. For the past 300 years, we've been living under a dangerous illusion. We've been told that our bodies are essentially biological machines, ticking time bombs, slowly deteriorating from the moment we take our first breath. When something goes wrong, we're taught to look outside ourselves for the solution. We run to specialists. We swallow prescriptions. We submit to procedures, all while believing that we are powerless spectators in our own healing journey. Has this ever happened to you? You've tried everything the doctors recommended, followed every protocol to the letter, yet your body still refuses to cooperate. You're left frustrated, confused, wondering what you're doing wrong. But before we go deeper into this revelation, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. But here's where Jung's revolutionary insight shatters the entire medical paradigm. The problem isn't physical at all. It never was. What you're about to discover might surprise you, but the real obstacle to your healing isn't hiding in your cells or your organs. It's buried deep within the unconscious beliefs you've carried since childhood, beliefs you didn't even know existed. Jung understood something that modern science is only now beginning to prove through rigorous research. We are not separate from our bodies. This idea of separation, this notion that you exist somewhere inside your head, piloting a flesh vehicle that can betray you at any moment, is the very foundation of disease itself. For 3 centuries, this separation-based worldview has infected every aspect of our civilization. Our healthcare system speaks in the language of war, fighting illness, attacking pathogens, eliminating symptoms. But what if this entire framework is precisely what's keeping you sick? The beliefs you unconsciously hold about yourself don't just float around as abstract concepts in your mind. They become encoded into your very biology. They whisper instructions to your cells. They direct the chemistry flowing through your bloodstream. They program the reality your body experiences. When you believe at the deepest subconscious level that you are separate, powerless, and fragile, your body has no choice but to reflect that truth back to you. Now, Jung spent his entire life exploring the hidden dimensions of human consciousness, and what he discovered about the relationship between mind and body was nothing short of extraordinary. The question we need to ask ourselves isn't, "What's wrong with my body?" The real question is, where does the power to heal actually reside? And this is where Jung's work intersects with something modern science is just beginning to understand. The answer isn't in your brain, as we've been conditioned to believe. Your heart, the very first organ that forms in your mother's womb, is the true command center orchestrating your body's healing journey. Think about this for a moment. Before your brain even exists, before any other system comes online, your heart begins to beat. Science still cannot definitively explain what triggers that first mysterious pulse that transforms you from a cluster of cells into a living being. Jung would have called this the moment the soul animates matter. But whether you embrace that interpretation or not, something undeniably profound happens. In that instant, your heart doesn't just pump blood, it thinks, it remembers, it makes decisions that shape your entire biology. Hidden within your heart are approximately 40,000 specialized cells that function remarkably like neurons. They form their own neural network, an intelligence that operates independently from your cranial brain. This isn't poetry or metaphor. This is measurable reality. Your heart is constantly sending signals upward to your brain, far more than your brain sends back down. The impact of this revelation on your transformation journey cannot be overstated. When you generate genuine emotions in your heart, gratitude, appreciation, compassion, care, those feelings create electrical patterns that travel directly to your brain. Your brain then responds by releasing chemistry that mirrors exactly what you're feeling. Positive, coherent emotions trigger hormones that strengthen immunity, activate anti-aging mechanisms, and create the internal environment where regeneration becomes possible. If this kind of deep, transformative content speaks to you, hit that subscribe button. I'm building a community of people who are ready to question what we've been told and step into genuine empowerment. Now, I want to go even deeper into what this means for the decisions you make every single day. We obsess over external factors. We buy organic produce, filter our water, exercise religiously, take supplements. These things matter, absolutely. But the internal environment you cultivate through your thoughts and emotions might be exponentially more powerful than anything you're doing externally. When unresolved anger, fear, anxiety, or resentment becomes the baseline emotional frequency you operate from, your body has no choice but to respond accordingly. Cortisol and adrenaline flood your system, chemicals designed for brief moments of survival, not for the chronic existence most people unknowingly subject themselves to. This sustained chemical bath weakens your immune defenses, suppresses the very hormones that keep you youthful and vital, and creates the perfect conditions for disease to take root. You literally wear your unresolved emotions. They show up in the tension of your shoulders, the lines etched into your face, the energy you bring into every room, and yes, in the health conditions that mysteriously appear and refuse to leave. Stress itself isn't your enemy. Stress is information, a signal trying to get your attention. The hidden truth behind chronic illness is that it emerges when stress remains unacknowledged, unprocessed, becoming the background static of your daily existence. Write in the comments, "My heart holds the answers," because recognizing where your true power center exists changes everything about how you approach healing. There's a hidden truth behind the way most people approach healing that actually keeps them trapped in illness. When you pray for healing, when you beg the universe to fix what's broken, you're unknowingly sending a very specific message to your body. You're affirming absence. You're declaring to every cell that you are sick, that wellness doesn't exist in this present moment. Your consciousness is focused entirely on the lack, the disease, the problem, and your body, being the perfect mirror it is, responds to that declaration. But what if you could flip this entire paradigm? What if instead of asking to be healed, you felt the feeling of already being whole? This isn't some new age wishful thinking. This is Jung's concept of the psyche's ability to manifest reality meeting modern quantum physics. When you embody the state of health with genuine gratitude, when you feel it in your heart as if it's already present, something extraordinary shifts. Your body receives completely different instructions. Your cells don't respond to the circumstances you're observing. They respond to the reality you're feeling. There's a story that perfectly illustrates this principle. During a severe drought, a Native American elder was asked to pray for rain, but he didn't ask for rain. He didn't plead or petition. He closed his eyes and felt the feeling of rain that had already fallen. He smelled the earth after the storm. He felt his bare feet in the mud. He gave thanks for the water as if it were already soaking into the ground. Within hours, clouds appeared where there had been none. Rain fell in a localized area that defied all meteorological predictions. The impact of this reveals something fundamental about how consciousness interacts with physical reality. Now, I want to go even deeper into the mechanics of why this actually works, because the science behind this revelation is absolutely stunning. For an entire century, modern medicine operated under a foundational assumption that we exist in complete isolation. This belief stemmed from an experiment conducted in 1887 by two scientists attempting to detect a field that connects all things. When their equipment failed to find it, they concluded no such field exists. This single failed experiment established 300 years of separation-based thinking. Everything we built, our entire medical model, our understanding of disease, assumed we are isolated units navigating a hostile universe. If this resonated with you, go ahead and hit that like button. It's a simple gesture that helps other seekers find this message when they need it most. But in 1987, exactly 100 years later, researchers repeated the experiment with more sensitive technology. The result? The field exists. It exists precisely within the parameters those original scientists predicted. Their tools simply weren't sophisticated enough to detect it. Quantum physics has since proven, through the phenomenon of entanglement, that particles remain energetically connected regardless of physical distance. When two particles interact and then separate, what happens to one instantaneously affects the other. They behave as if they're still unified, because energetically they are. The implications for your transformation journey are staggering. If we trace everything back to its origin, you, me, the earth, the cosmos, everything was once unified. Physically we separated, but the energetic connection never broke. This explains the hidden mechanics behind how your thoughts can influence not just your own healing, but how consciousness itself participates in shaping reality. Write in the comments, I am connected to everything, because embracing this truth fundamentally transforms how you navigate your healing journey and your entire relationship with existence itself. Understanding this connection between consciousness and reality opens up a pathway you can access right now, in this very moment. Your heart generates the strongest electrical and magnetic fields in your entire body, stronger than your brain, stronger than any other organ. This isn't accidental. We exist in an electrical and magnetic universe, and your heart is specifically designed to communicate directly with that universal field we just discussed. When you bring your heart and brain into what scientists call coherence, into a synchronized rhythm at a very specific frequency of 0.1 Hertz, you create the optimal internal conditions for every single healing mechanism in your body to activate simultaneously. The technique itself is remarkably simple, which is part of its hidden power. You move your awareness out of your head, away from the constant mental chatter, and drop it down into the center of your chest. You slow your breathing intentionally, about 5 to 6 seconds as you inhale, 5 to 6 seconds as you exhale. And then, this is the crucial part, you genuinely feel emotions like gratitude, appreciation, care, or compassion, not thinking about these emotions, not imagining them, actually feeling them resonating in your heart center. The transformation that happens is measurable. Anti-aging hormones immediately flood your system. Your immune response strengthens dramatically. New neural pathways begin forming between your heart and brain that didn't exist moments before. This is self-regulated healing in its purest form, and it's available to you every single moment of every single day. The impact this has on your journey is profound, because it means you're never powerless, never at the mercy of circumstances beyond your control. Now, I want to go even deeper into what your body has been trying to tell you all along, because this is where Jung's work becomes absolutely revolutionary. Every symptom you experience, every chronic condition that refuses to leave, every mysterious pain that doctors can't quite explain, these aren't your body malfunctioning. They're not evidence that something is broken or betraying you. Your body is speaking. It's been speaking to you in a language most of us were never taught. To understand Think about this through the lens of Jung's concept of the shadow, the unconscious material we refuse to acknowledge. Your body becomes the messenger for everything your conscious mind has pushed down, denied, or refused to see. When you develop chronic inflammation, persistent digestive issues, unexplained fatigue, your body is showing you with remarkable precision the beliefs you hold at the deepest subconscious levels. These aren't random afflictions, they're symbols, messages, encoded in flesh, pointing you toward exactly what needs your conscious awareness. Most of the foundational beliefs that run your life were programmed before you turned 7 years old. During those early years, your brain existed in what's called a hypnagogic state, essentially an open receiver absorbing everything from your environment without any filters or critical analysis. You internalized patterns from caregivers, absorbed messages about safety, worthiness, what's possible, what you deserve. All of this got stored below conscious awareness, running like background software that shapes your decisions, your relationships, and yes, manifest directly in your physical body. Write in the comments, "My body is speaking to me," because this shift in perspective is where genuine transformation begins and healing becomes possible. What makes this even more profound is understanding how these childhood patterns create the very diseases we experience decades later. Jung called this the personal unconscious, the repository of everything we've experienced but haven't consciously processed. When you were a child, absorbing your environment like an open sponge, you weren't just learning language or social behaviors. You were encoding beliefs about your safety in the world, your worthiness of love, whether expressing emotions was acceptable or dangerous, whether you deserved to take up space or needed to stay small and invisible. A child who learned that their needs were burdensome might develop chronic digestive issues as an adult, their body literally unable to receive nourishment. Someone who internalized that expressing anger was forbidden might manifest that suppressed rage as inflammation or autoimmune conditions years later. These aren't coincidences or random biological failures. They're the body's attempt to bring unconscious material into conscious awareness, to show you exactly what needs healing at the level of belief and emotion. The transformation in how you approach healing happens when you stop viewing illness as an enemy to defeat and start recognizing it as a portal. There are documented cases, medically verified instances, where someone identifies the underlying belief driving their condition, resolves the emotional charge attached to it, and within hours, sometimes even minutes, the physical manifestation disappears completely. The migraine that's plagued them for years vanishes. The chronic pain that resisted every treatment suddenly releases. The tumor that was scheduled for surgery shrinks to nothing. The physical healing becomes a natural byproduct of addressing the deeper psychological wound. This is the hidden truth behind why some people experience spontaneous remissions that baffle their doctors, while others try everything and nothing works. The difference isn't in the treatments, it's in whether they've addressed the root cause existing at the level of consciousness, belief, and unresolved emotion. Your body isn't broken. It's brilliantly intelligent, constantly working to bring your attention to what needs to be seen, felt, and integrated. Now, I want to go even deeper into what this means for the decisions you make every single day, because the ultimate revelation here transforms your entire relationship with healing. You are not a passive victim, sitting helplessly while your body deteriorates or betrays you. You are an active participant in an ongoing process of regeneration that's happening right now. In this very moment, your symptoms aren't nuisances to suppress with medication or ignore until they become unbearable. They're information, they're guidance from the wisest part of yourself, the part Jung would call the self with a capital S. trying to help you see what requires transformation. When you shift your mindset from viewing your body as a malfunctioning machine to recognizing it as a sophisticated communication system constantly speaking to you, you step into genuine power. The connection between your thoughts, your emotions, your deepest beliefs, and your body's ability to heal isn't metaphorical or spiritual bypassing. It's measurable, it's physical, it's biochemical, and it's happening inside you right now. Write in the comments, "I am the healer," because recognizing your active role in this process changes everything about how you move forward on your healing journey. If you've made it this far, I genuinely want to acknowledge you for taking this journey with me. This isn't surface-level content. We've gone deep into understanding the hidden mechanics behind why your body heals or doesn't heal, and how Jung's insights about consciousness reveal that the power was inside you all along. This is exactly the kind of exploration I bring to this channel. We don't stay at the surface. We question the paradigms everyone else accepts without thinking. We dive into the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science, into the practical tools you can actually use to transform your life, rather than just understanding concepts intellectually. If this resonates with you, if you want more conversations that challenge the mainstream narrative and give you real pathways to empowerment, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This community is for people ready to see beyond the illusions we've all been sold. And if something clicked for you while you were watching, if you felt that moment of recognition where everything suddenly made sense, leave a comment saying, "This message was meant for me." I read every single comment, and it means everything to know this content is reaching the people who need it most. It also helps more seekers discover these ideas when they're ready for them. If this landed with you, a quick like on the video helps tremendously. It tells me you want more of this depth, and it helps the algorithm understand that real transformative content matters. There's a video right here that takes what we've explored today even further. It dives into the practical techniques for creating that heart-brain coherence we talked about, the exact steps you can use immediately to start participating consciously in your body's healing process. Click and continue with me over there, because what you've discovered today is just the beginning of what's possible when you truly understand your power.